Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Anemona Crisan, and for all of you who don't know me, I'm a visual artist based in Vienna in Austria, and I'm welcoming you to my studio. I'm opening up my studio within these videos to show to you a selection of my works. The umbrella and the topic subject under which I present them to you is the idea of knowing thyself through art. My art is a metaphysical art, it's a transformational art. It's meant to pose the big questions and to show this process of discovering yourself by asking the big questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is my creativity? What can I contribute to this world? And in today's video, I want to present to you this work. The artwork I want to introduce to you today is this. It's entitled Geometrical Fusion, and it is from 2019. It is a work on canvas, painted with ink and acrylic. This work is about a few main subjects that I want to mention first before we dive deeper into the layers of the work. It is about duality. It is about the elements like water, fire, earth, air, ether. It is about the macro-cosm and the micro-cosm, so the patterns that are mirrored in the bigger picture and in the smaller picture. Thus, it is also about phenomena that are mirrored in our lives as humans, in our emotions, in our bodies, but also in the outside world, in the bigger world, just like tectonic plates, for example, the earth, the universe. And it is also about finding the place, the common place of all these phenomena I've just mentioned, or all these subjects I just mentioned, in one point from which they actually emanate. So as you can see, these are very, very big subjects, and I will try to express what I have expressed in this artwork through words, even though I have to say that this attempt is just an attempt because since I'm a visual artist, my main way of expression are my artworks, my paintings, and my site-specific works. And there is a very good reason for that, at least for me, because as you can see, I can put all these subjects, all these ideas in only one work, and because it is a multi-layered being, such a work, that can handle this multi-dimensionality of ideas, and it can also express it to you. So let's start with what we are seeing on the first side in this painting. So first of all, you see this blue structure, and this structure is actually, maybe on the first side it looks like something like a crystal or an architecture, but if you look closer, you will discover that there are body-like, human-like elements, like the head here, half of a head, the ear, a shoulder, maybe an arm, an elbow, and the rest of the body. And on the other side mirror, you see another half of a body, again the ear, the shoulder, and like something like an arm, like an elbow. So of course this is not naturalistic. It is a structure that is anthropomorphic, so it reminds us, it makes an allusion to a figure, but it can also be an abstract crystalline structure. And these two structures are now either merging or coming apart. They can be two different people that are incomplete coming together to form one, like in a relationship, for example. Or they are two parts of one being, like our emotional and our rational part. We know this from our brain hemispheres, right? That we have these sides within us, the more emotional, intuitive part, and a more rational, sequential, materialistic part, which is the left brain. So we have these movements moving together, moving apart. But there is also this energy in the center between these two parts, and this is the idea of duality I was talking about in the beginning, where you can see that there is this light and energy pulse, almost lava-like, coming out of these two structures when they merge or fall apart. So they create this energy, and this energy is actually the point of movement, the point where this movement together and apart is created. And what I found out while painting this picture painting this painting was that this is actually the center where a third state is created. And this state is actually the potentiality of all possible states these two parts can have to each other. So what I'm wanting to say here is that duality in this picture is transformed or transmuted to a third state, where it's not about they're moving together or apart, but there is actually a third state where all states are in their potentiality and coexist together. And this is somehow a 0 point. You may know it from the loop of infinity, where all the two loops overlap. Just imagine you stay there, and then you see these two loops on the left side and on the right side, and you're just in the middle between the two, and you can perceive all possible situations, from the most extreme conflict to the most extreme love and peace, right? So you are in a neutral point, actually, where everything is possible. And this is fascinating because this is the point of creation, and it is the point of creativity. It is the point from which everything becomes possible, every perspective, equally. And interestingly enough, what also surprised me is that I feel that this point is in the area of our hearts, right? So it's in the heart area of these two figure fragments, right? So there is a point in the heart that is actually the balance point, the 0 point within us, where we can access this neutral point and this creation point, basically, where we can perceive and create whatever we want. Another thing that I was talking about are the elements, like fire, water, air, and earth, ether. The idea of elements is very ancient, and the idea in the ancient teachings was that the elements are the building blocks of our reality. Well, while this was not in my mind when I was painting this picture, I realized later that this is also part of it. So as you can see, sometimes, or very often as an artist, in my case especially, since I'm interested in the bigger picture, in the big question of asking myself who I am as a human being, what my purpose is, I dive deeper beyond my individual perspective into a more universal level of being a human, where I find that there is something that connects all of us, all humans, but not only us humans. It connects us as a species, but it connects us with the earth and with the universe. And these are ideas like duality, for example, and this 0 point in between that we can perceive as a third state that is actually connecting us to everything else as well within us. So I invite you to open up to this work to feel into it and see and ask yourself, where is duality in your life? Where can you perceive it? Because it is a basic law of our existence, actually. But where can you feel this third point in your life when you feel the opposites? Is there a third point where you can perceive both sides simultaneously? Where you go beyond the either or, but can see both, this and that? Because this is basically the 0 point then, and you feel that it's something that it feels very whole, because you see and accept all parts, the two parts in this case, but it can be many more than two, right? Also, the idea of elements, the creative power of elements. Do you feel this in your life? Do you experience this in your life? What the elements such as fire, water, air, ether is meaning to you? Try to communicate with these elements, because it is very interesting how much we are actually mirroring physical phenomena of these elements. In this case, for instance, the fire is like the heart energy, the passion, the force that is expressed through this fusion or a separation. So we have qualities of the elements within us that can be expressed like emotions, right? That can be expressed in forms. We can be, light like the air, or very, very, like adaptable like water, So it's interesting to make this, to see this parallel and mirroring within us and the reality that surrounds us. And this is basically also the idea in many cultures, animistic cultures especially, that basically everything is alive, even if it is an object, even if it is a stone. It is alive because it is made of this energy that creates everything, and it is made from the elements, it is made from the geometries that actually are the building blocks for living beings and non-living beings. And it's so interesting to find out within yourself that there is this interconnectedness in the form of our building blocks and the way we are built. So there is a common blueprint in a way that everything in our reality shares. Huge concepts, but I think that it's such a joy to express, to dive into these ideas through art. This is what I love about art, about making art. And this is also why I think that my artworks are so important right now in our situation, in our human evolution, because we need to open up to this metaphysical, to these metaphysical levels within us in order to understand, to feel, to tap into this, infinite potentiality we have, into our creativity, into our talents, and by that become aware of our power, of our creative power, and become self-empowered individuals who know themselves, know thyself through art, so that we can build a new world using the elements that we are. And it's such a beautiful chance right now, an opportunity to co-create this world with other individuals, because we will have to do that. The old world is coming to an end. the worldview of materialism and nihilism and rationalism is coming to an end. And as humans, we are asked to take a huge evolutionary step, and this step is a metaphysical step. It is a remembrance of our talents. It is a remembrance of who we really are, each and every one of us, because each and every one of us has a certain unique talent that has to be rediscovered, has to be expressed and shared with the world. Enough said. I invite you to go to my website anemonacrisan.com and find this and other works. There is also a web shop. If you're intrigued by these works, have a look there. And I also want to invite you to read my new art manifesto entitled Birth Humanity. In this manifesto, I write more about this idea of art being a metaphysical tool for self-discovery and self-empowerment. I think that my art and art in general can help you on your journey of self-discovery. As you can see, art can open up to many different layers. It is multidimensional. It goes beyond just words. It goes deep into the subconscious. It goes deep into spiritual and metaphysical realms. And it's beautiful to open up to these realms because you will find so much more of your own authentic self on this journey. So I'm looking forward to the next videos. I will tell you more and show you more of my works, metaphysic, transformational artworks. And until then, take care and see you soon.